Welcome to the Nutrition Template How-To Screencast. I'm Kyle Sutton with Iron Tribe Fitness. Hopefully you've had a chance to see the information from our nutrition seminar as well as the Iron Tribe Fuel Manual. This will give you a solid grasp of the 5 factors that are most important for improving your diet and achieving your body composition goals. In this tutorial, we're going to explore a health template from Renaissance Periodization. Of the template types that we offer, this is the most basic and straightforward. This template is individualized based on your current body weight and is great for someone who has minimal experience weighing and measuring food. While this template is not specifically geared toward cutting or massing, or weight loss or weight gain, you will likely see an improvement in body composition when combining this approach with your workouts. Let's dive into the template and the information provided. As you receive your template, it will be in a spreadsheet file. Once you open up the file, it will have multiple tabs at the top. Each tab offers something a little bit different, and we'll spend some time at each. But let's start with the tab labeled Healthy Balanced Diet. In the upper left-hand corner, we'll see some basic directions about what is in this sheet. While the directions indicate to scroll down, this will become more important with the massing and cutting templates when there are more options for the daily nutritional structure. The light green instructions indicate that there are 2 options for your balanced diet menu. The first option, shown here, is a 3-meal per day format. This would match up nicely for anyone that follows a traditional breakfast, lunch, and dinner schedule with their daily meals, and it even allows for a 350-calorie snack sometime during the day. The second option, situated directly underneath the 3-meal option, is a 4-meal per day option. Simply put, this schedule reduces the quantities of each food and spreads them into slightly smaller meals throughout the day. This option still allows for a 350-calorie snack at your choosing during the day. On the left-hand columns, you will see the structure of your meals and some general guidelines for the timing of each. Because people can have significantly different schedules, the timing recommendations are structured around your wake-up time and bedtime, or use general terms like midday. To make this template even more flexible for you, you can use either day or a mix of days. If on Mondays and Thursdays you're more busy at work and it's tougher to get 4 meals, use the 3-meal per day setup. If you find yourself too hungry on some days, opt for the 4-meal per day approach. You don't have to stick to one or the other. In the rows just under the Iron Tribe logo, you'll see the area with your food choices. The red column shows your protein sources, the green column shows your veggies, the yellow and orange columns display healthy carbs, and the last column in brown shows fat choices. This area will offer a slightly larger selection than the cutting and massing templates. Again, this is to provide you with more flexibility and to ease you into the measuring and selection of the proper foods. For example, in the health template, you will find a wide selection of protein sources, including those for vegetarians, but some of these choices will not be recommended in the cutting and massing templates. You may be wondering about the carryover of macronutrients between the foods. For example, some carbohydrate sources contain protein, and most proteins contain fat. Don't worry, your template has adjusted for these crossover nutrients in your recommendations below. This is one of the reasons that lean protein sources and specific carbohydrate and fat choices have made the approved list. Let's venture down to the specific quantity recommendations for your food. On the health template, you'll notice that every meal that you get throughout the day will have a balance of lean protein, vegetables, healthy carbs, and healthy fats. Because we're not taking nutrient timing into account as it relates to your workouts, you'll see a steady amount of each macronutrient throughout the day, with minimal adjustment based on the time of day. Remember, our goal with this template is to do amazingly well at the 2 most important factors for success: caloric balance and macronutrient balance. The health template gives you specific quantity measurements in grams for protein, carbohydrate, and fat, but a less specific measurement for vegetables. This is because vegetables are less calorically dense than the others and are less likely to throw you out of balance. It's important to note that when the template recommends, say, 45 grams of protein from lean sources, that is not simply measuring 45 grams of chicken or steak. Food has water and other non-caloric components, so that needs to be taken into account, and you'll be significantly under-eating. A good rule of thumb that applies to most lean protein sources is that 1 ounce of cooked meat equals about 7 grams of protein. So if you want to get to 45 grams of protein, you need to eat somewhere between 6 and 7 ounces of cooked meat. However, these numbers can vary greatly between foods, so you'll be better served by reading your nutrition labels and using helpful apps that can give you more specific information about the macronutrient quantities in each choice. Apps like MyFitnessPal and Nutrients can show you very specific information as it relates to your food choices. So as you start to plan your meals, it is simply following the recommendations for each column. Put all of the columns together and you have a balanced meal. Because the template is providing you with the quantities to give you caloric and macronutrient balance, it's also leaving a buffer of about 300 calories that you can use at any point during the day. This 350 calories can allow you a guilty pleasure as long as you're not overdoing it. That number will change based on your template. Now that we've seen how the basic template works, let's explore some of the other tabs at the top of the screen. You'll see a tab that says Healthy Low Carb Diet. By clicking this tab, you'll bring up a very similar spreadsheet to the one we just saw, but this time you'll see significantly different quantities for carbohydrate and protein. This approach has upped the protein and decreased the carbohydrate. Remember, we technically don't need carbohydrate to survive, and a low-carb diet for most people will help our bodies burn more fat for energy. Because of the caloric constraint hypothesis that we talked about in the nutrition seminar, we need to increase another macronutrient if we are going to significantly reduce carb intake. For this template, that comes in the form of increased protein. You may find this template useful, especially if you're more familiar with low-carb dieting, and especially if you're not working out consistently. For the Iron Tribe athletes that are working out aggressively 3 times or more per week, you will probably appreciate the Healthy Balanced Diet tab more, as it will provide more carbohydrate, which will be beneficial for your workouts. Moving to the left, you'll find a tab that shows common serving sizes. If you're not someone who wants to use your scale to measure exact amounts, or if you don't want to use an app to search for every food, this is the most general way to know how much food you're taking in. They give helpful real-world examples for the appropriate size comparisons for food quantity. A word of caution though, if you're using this approach and the scale is indicating that you're gaining weight, chances are you're not being specific enough and need to dial back your food quantities. A more exacting approach may be beneficial in this situation. One more tab to the left and you'll find some quick tips for using the template. These will be helpful to review if you are having any issues with your template. Now that you've seen how to use the health template, it's time for you to start getting prepared to execute the system. The instructions for how much to eat are there, but the template can only take you this far. Now it's up to you to plan your meals, get organized, and execute the system. If you're having any trouble, the first place you should go is to your coach. They can help you fill in any knowledge gaps to get you back on track or provide helpful tips for execution. Another outstanding resource is social media. We are going to have a Facebook page that has a great network of people who have been using the templates and can provide support. And I'm sure your gym community can help as well. There's really only one thing to do now. Get started. You are probably going to make mistakes the first couple of weeks. You'll have days that you don't execute the system well or you under or overeat. Don't let this discourage you. Each day is a new opportunity to follow the structure provided and success towards your goals. Work hard on this as it's the foundation for your fitness and body composition results. Good luck.